Guys, it's Will Potato Strong here. I'm going to do a This Week in Plants video. And to start off, there's a video here by the folks who are doing the new Plant Pure Nation documentary. And they're talking about who's really supporting cancer research. So there's a little video. And Nelson Campbell was at a breast cancer rally. And you can see here that it was sponsored by Dairy Industry Got Milk.
That in all his years of in the 1970s, my dad did research in the laboratory, and he found that the chemical that was most effective at turning on cancer cells is the protein in milk. It's called casein. He said in all of his years of research, he never saw something more effective at turning on cancer than the protein in milk.
So he mentions the casein from the China study that tended to propagate cancer. And also the point, a lot of these rallies usually have a lot of unhealthy food there, which is kind of ironic. You know, you have hot dogs and meat and dairy at a lot of the cancer fundraising. And so it's kind of sad in a way that knowledge hasn't propagated over the decades. So that's a good, and I'll put all links to these videos in the description. You can check them out. Another note, the man that brought the glycemic index wants us to go vegan. So there's an article in the Globe and Mail and probably other papers as well that I talked about glycemic index in the past videos that I've done. And the sad thing is that people are focusing on glycemic index of foods and worrying about how much it raises insulin. And glycemic index is really when a food is in isolation, and it's not very useful, but it ended up triggering a bunch of diets like Atkins' own, South Beast, Sugar Busters, glycemic index diet. And just that ongoing myth that you need to look at glycemic index, and also the fact that a lot of people don't know that meat and a lot of animal products raise insulin more than vegetables. And I've talked about that before. And so that's kind of a cool article to check out. Next Thursday, I'm going to be interviewing Dr. Thomas Campbell. He wrote the Campbell Plan, and he also co-wrote the China study. And so if you have any questions, post them in the comments of this video, or you can check the link that I've got on Facebook and post your questions there as well. It's a really good book. It goes into detail about a lot of the hot topics, paleo and soy and omega-3 and everything. And I found it to be a very good book. So that'll be cool. I'll get a chance to interview him. He's the son of T. Colin Campbell, and he's also a medical doctor, so that's going to be cool. I've been looking at a lot of gardening information this week, which is related to plant diets for sure, plant-based diets. I don't have a lot of information. Or experience. I've got a greenhouse, but I'm expanding. And this video is on doing a raised bed. And this video, the guy uses a easy to put together raised garden that dovetails. So you can build your own. And of course, I'm not I don't have the tools and the interest in that, so I didn't get this exact system. But there's like raised bed kits. So this is what I put together. This is actually mine. And just to start with, I thought I would start with that. And I got the soil and the compost, and I think that's going to be great. I'm really excited. I'm going to be planting garlic and onions and carrots, hopefully a bunch of things. I'll keep you guys updated on that. So there's a few gardening things here. I've also looked at the, what do we got here? Let me just go. There's a good resource here to get you started in organic gardening, from choosing a spot to soil, planting, composting, mulching, just kind of a quick little PDF if anybody's interested. I'm hoping to expand and continually add more raised beds. I didn't want to dig up my lawn. It's a very poor lawn with, the soil's not great. Um, there's lots of rocks in there from my experience. So starting fresh, building on top, and hopefully expanding as I see how I do with the smaller amounts of smaller sized beds. So if anybody's interested in that, and if you have any tips, you can feel free to share them with me. But I'll share my experiences as I go along as well. Dr. McDougall posted an article about Kim Hoffman, who's beating MS. So there's people who have halted and even reversed some of their symptoms. So this is her here, and she's got a whole story about the problems she had with the attacks, and then finally meeting and talking to Dr. McDougall. And this is her now, and she's still remission and drug free. And she's convinced that the McDougall starch-based diet stopped MS in its tracks. So, you don't exactly get rid of MS in this case, but you sort of keep it under control, and so it's a great one. And a lot of people aren't aware of that diet. One of the things that I'm trying to do with this channel is to spread the message that diet can not only help you lose weight and reduce cholesterol meds, but also help with other health issues as well. And MS is a pretty serious one, and people don't often realize that plant-based diet can make a difference. They're usually looking at the typical medical treatment, so that's a great one. And lastly, there's another conference, which is in physical. It's in Washington. It's not online, but Nutrition Medicine, if you're in that area, July 31st and August 1st. Caldwell Esselstyn, Kim Williams, lots of Neil Bernard, David Katz, lots of good speakers here. Let's just go through here, see ones that I recognize. Craig McDougall, that's John McDougall's son. Baxter Montgomery, Robert Osfeld, so Joel Kahn. So lots of good speakers there if you're in that area. And finally, I like to show some of the stuff that I've been eating through my Facebook page. If you're not on there, you should check it out. Facebook.com/PotatoStrong. We've got the pizza here. I've got recipe for the dough and the sauce. I put in a frozen spinach, which really adds a lot of flavor. Italian spices. This is a chicken style soup, which has rice, potatoes, carrots, and a vegan chicken style bouillon. Salads, I usually use balsamic vinegar. I've been having a lot of kale and romaine lately. This is a new one, a lentil dal. So in this case, I'm using a can of lentils, but drained and rinsed. But I just use curry powder, so I don't fry spices and all that. But I use curry powder and tomato paste, and fry some onions and some garlic ahead of time. One of the things with the frying the onions now, I just put the onions dry on the skillet, and it releases the sugars, and when you add the liquid, it gives a nice, rich, sweet onion taste, and a nice broth from the caramelization of the onions. Tofu scramble, that's a great one. I got a couple of little tools here. This is a garlic press. You can put the clove of garlic right in there and squeeze in it, and you don't even have to peel it. So that's great for your fingers, for your hands. And it's got a little cleaner. It's super easy to clean. And this is a potato peeler. The one I have is really, really bad. I don't always peel potatoes. There's some different opinions. Dr. Greger has talked about some of the toxins that are in the skin because it tries to fend off pests. But you can peel other things, carrots, cucumbers as well. I don't always peel. Depends on the cucumber. I don't always peel, like, say, English cucumbers, but anyways, a couple of cool gadgets. Garlic press, definitely thumbs up on that one. I haven't used the peeler yet. Spaghetti and meatballs. I've got a lentil meatball recipe. Occasionally, I will buy a packaged meatball, just if I'm lazy. But there's lots of meatball recipes you can make out there. The sauce is also similar to the pizza. It's a marinara sauce, but I use frozen spinach that I cook and add it to crushed tomatoes. This is a falafel wrap with tzatziki sauce. That's amazing. So I use silken tofu, a firm silken tofu, and I grate cucumber, squeeze out the liquid, and I add the cucumber after I blend the silken tofu with, I use dill pickle juice, a little bit of lemon juice, vegetable stock powder. You could put a little bit of dill in there, and I blend that up, and then I add the grated cucumber that's been squeezed out all the liquid. So that's absolutely incredible. I use hot peppers, banana hot peppers as well, and a whole wheat wrap. You can use like an Ezekiel sprouted whole grain wrap. And then here are the beds. I'm excited about planting more veggies. We've had a bit of a late spring here, but I've got a few things going in my greenhouse as well. So I'll be definitely doing more about that. So hopefully you guys like that. And that was This Week in Plants. And we'll talk to you soon.